Hey, goddesses. This is me, Disapwa, your goddess whisperer, coming to you tonight on Monday, Moon Day, with a beautiful message of love, joy, and radiance. And I am hoping that everyone who joins me tonight will be in a beautiful mood for love and for joy and for sisterhood. And so I had to tell you, I just start out on this moon day saying, I have had one hell of a week. And if you notice that last week we did not have a moon day message, we did not have a lot of the summer of self love last week. Even though it was full of self love, I was dealing with some personal emergencies that thankfully are pretty much over right now. So let's get together and get rid of the energies of the day and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And let's start by putting one hand on our heart, that left hand on our heart, the right hand on our womb, and just take a moment to close our eyes and allow the beautiful sunset, the energies of the sunset, to sunset in our heart and in our womb. Feel these beautiful, radiant energies flowing down from your crown to your third eye, to your throat, to your heart, to your solar plexus, to your sacral chakra, to your root, coming down into your hips and thighs, your knees, your calves and your shins, your ankles, your feet, your toes, down the length of your arms. And just allow this beautiful energy to weave its way through you, within you. Hold on to it for a moment and relax. Now, you know that, as I said, we did not have Moon Day message last week, but I am intending to do kind of a double up this week so that you can catch up to what we missed last week. But for now, let's focus on reclaiming our radiance. And that's one of the reasons why we call this the radiant womb, right? Um, and, one of the things that we women tend to do is to dim our light and our shine for other people. We don't want to make them feel bad. We don't want to make them feel like they're, less. We don't want to feel like we're just putting ourselves out there sometimes. And we don't want to feel as if we're making others feel bad. But you know what? Each of us is a luminous expression of the goddess. Each of us has the right, the privilege, and the obligation to shine as brightly as we are able. Because not only do we then live up to our own potential and our own mission and the things we are put here on earth to do, but we also demonstrate for others what they can do in their life, how they can shine in their own life, and that we don't have to dull our light for anyone. We are each put here to be the most luminous expression of the goddess that we can be. And that does not mean that we need to hold ourselves back, put ourselves down, um, or do anything that really dims our shine in this world. And I want everybody to take a moment because I know we all do this. This is not something that I'm saying some people do and some people don't, but we all do this. And I want you to think about three instances in your life where you allowed your light to be dulled in order to help or please someone else. And I think about, when I was younger, we were always told that if you wanted to get a boyfriend, you could not appear to be more intelligent, funnier, more knowledgeable about anything than whoever it was that you wish to date. And you know what? That is some crappy advice, right? But we all followed it. We all were like, well, we don't want to make the man feel bad because, whatever, or make him feel less than, because that's not what men like. And after a certain time, you have to see, is who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what the man thinks? And if he can't deal with you being the brilliant, wonderful, full adult woman that you are, then he is not worthy of you. And that's the thing that we have to remember as goddesses. We are the prize. Okay? I'm not looking out in the world for anyone else to compliment me or to fulfill me or to complete me. That's the word I was really looking for. To complete me, um, I am complete unto myself. And if else were to come into my life, be that as a friend, as a family member, as someone I'm dating, whatever, then they have to bring something to my table. Okay, not the other way around, because I am the table. Okay, I am the whole damn meal. So if you want to come into my life, then what are you bringing me? And when I come into your life, I know that I have plenty I can bring to you. So it's got to work both ways. But at any rate, let's get back to our topic. And we're going to be a little bit brief tonight because I may have been able to solve some of my issues, but I am tired. I haven't even made it home yet. The reason why you're seeing me here is my local shopping mall where I'm sitting outside talking to you tonight. So after I leave you tonight, I'm going to go home and rest. So please, if you love me, don't call me early tomorrow because I will not be answering. Anyway, so we want to reclaim our radiance. We want to reclaim our joy. We want to reclaim our laughter. We want to reclaim our whole being because that is what we have as our birthright, to be whole, to be complete, to love ourselves. That's what we have the summer of self love, and to recognize just how fucking awesome we all are. If you don't want to hear me use any swear words, and don't get me started about how wonderful we are as women. Don't get me started because I really believe that each of us has so much capacity within us for love, for joy, for happiness, for whatever it is that we desire to create in our lives. Because we are creative beings, not just procreative, creative. Okay. So now let's talk about our joy practice for the week. And I want everybody to feel comfortable to get up and boogie. I am not getting up and boogieing with you today because I'm outside in the street. And even though I love to let my light shine, I don't even have it in me to get up right now and boogie with you. But that's the one thing I really love to do. One of the things my kids used to tease me about was that every Saturday morning I would get up. It would be time for cleaning, right? And I put on some like old Motown or whatever and dance around the house. And they were just like, let's hurry up and clean so that mom can turn that crap off. But it really, you have to find what brings you joy in life. Not what someone else tells you will make you happy, but the thing that really, really reaches into your soul and makes you happy, and find that and move your body in the way that you want to. Put on the music that stirs your soul. Okay. One of the things that I wanted to talk about too is that a little bit later on, we're going to be talking about a particular goddess and Egyptian dance. Well, I'm going to see if I can put together a little video for you a little bit later to talk about that specifically. Anywho, so here's our journal prompt for the week. Where does joy want to live in me? Where is joy trying to live in your body? Do you feel it where? In your heart? Do you feel it in your womb? Or maybe you feel it in that solar plexus area or lunar plexus area where you feel like really you feel joy. Maybe it's in your hips when you're dancing. Who knows? But it's up to you to figure out where that joy lives and to let it live within you. And one of the things I love to do too is, especially when you're going through a hard time and you're not really sure that there is any joy in your life, I love to make what I call a joy jar. You get a mason jar with a lid, and every time something wonderful happens for you, you you can write it down on a little slip of paper and put it in your joy jar. And then when you're having a hard time, you're thinking, everything is going wrong for me, or nothing is going the way I think it should go for me. Open up that joy jar and remind yourself of all of the wonderful things that have happened for you. And I guarantee you, if you don't get caught up in it having to be like a big event that happens that brings you joy, but everyday joys, like there was no line at the Starbucks, or, um, I wasn't expecting it, but there was no traffic, or, you know, um, I thought I was going to have to do X, Y, and Z, but it turns out it was already done. All these little things that make life joyful for you. I put them in the jar, and when you need to be joyful, take them out and look at them again. Okay, so now, one of the things that we really want to focus on too is the idea of allowing joy into our lives in very practical ways. Like, how many of us find it hard to even accept a compliment when it's given? Somebody says to you, "Hey, you look great today." And the first thing you think of is, "No, I don't. Why are you saying that to me?" Oh my, it's getting loud out here. Okay. Or, how is it when, you need support, maybe, your behind is dragging a little bit at work, and someone else says to you, "Here, let me help you out." How many of us can just accept the help and not feel weakened by it? How many of us can get advice, or a kind word, and not feel like we don't deserve it? Sometimes we really have to get back in the practice of accepting compliments, advice, support, love, guidance from other women, or even other people in your life who are just there to give you a hand when you need it. Sometimes that can be the hardest thing in the world to do, is to just accept that, hey, you may not be feeling the best about yourself, but other people can lift you up and see you for who you are. Sometimes when you don't, you know, if life were just a bowl of cherries, we would all feel great every day, but it's not. And sometimes, particularly now in life, some things are really, really hard, and we have to allow for others to help us with that. So now let me tell you about our goddess for the week. And that goddess is Sekhmet. She is the lion headed goddess who is said to be one of the eyes of Ra. She's a daughter of Ra. And we're talking now Egyptian cosmology here. And she is a fierce fighting goddess. And she um, is going to be um, honored and venerated even more by me when we have our Lions Gate celebration on August 8th, which is the day of the Lions Gate portal. So you're going to find all about Sekhmet. You're going to meet Sekhmet. You're going to journey with Sekhmet so that she can help you find that radiant goddess within yourself. And so, one thing I love about her, and this is one of the stories that I've heard about her, and some people say it's true, some people say it's not, but I wasn't there, so I'm going to tell the story I like. And it is that um, there was a point where, we've already said that Sekhmet is a warrior goddess, right? So she's the goddess of summer, of fire. And so um, she's also a fierce defender of her children. And at one point, her children were threatened. And Sekhmet became so enraged in seeking revenge on those who had hurt her children that she was ready to destroy everything, tear everything up. And it wasn't until Uh, no, she was deep in the bloodlust, and it wasn't until someone came upon the idea of dyeing some beer red and seeing the color red. She said, must be blood. And she drank it all up. It got so drunk that she passed out. And that was the end of her rampage. But I love that idea of being such a fierce defender of your children, regardless of, I mean, you don't have to destroy the whole world for that, but just understanding how much power and uh, how much she was able to take revenge or to avenge her children. I find that very powerful. I think she could have had like a safety word, like now it's time to stop. But I love that story of Sekhmet of being such a fierce defender. So now, before we end, I really want to give you a little ritual that you can do on your own at home to bring in abundance, joy, and light. And what you're going to need is a gold or yellow candle, a mirror, and your favorite scent or perfume. And it could be a perfumed oil. I think that might work the best. So here's what you do. Step number one, light your candle and stand before your mirror. Okay. Gaze into your own eyes and say, I am open to receive joy, beauty, and all that serves me. I am open to receive joy, beauty, and all that serves me. I am open to receive joy, beauty, and all that serves me. So anoint your body with whatever scent you have and walk like the goddess you are. And you are a goddess. And I hope that you will take this ritual as and make it your own. Make it your own. And one of the things that I would suggest is as you stand in front of the mirror, stand in front of the mirror nude and really admire your own body. Because regardless of any supposed flaws in your body, this body serves you well and it's beautiful in its own way, regardless of what it physically looks like, whether it's too skinny or too hefty or um, you don't like the way your legs look or whatever. And learn to appreciate the body that you have and love it as it loves you. And I want to thank you for being with me tonight. And I'm going to put the information about the Lionsgate portal uh, events in the comments. And I would really love for you to join me on that journey. Every year. I really feel that this is a great chance for manifestation or womanifestation, as I like to call it, and a great time to really get into who you are, bringing forth that fierce energy, that fierce lioness that's inside you. And I was just watching a video. This is just to finish up. I was just watching a video today about this guy from this guy that always talks about animals, and he was saying how so many animal families that you think of as being male dominated are actually dominated by the women, including the lion herd or pack or whatever you call it, the pride, the lion pride. So remember that you're a lioness, you're a goddess, you are fierce, you are fabulous, and I will see you next week. Love you.